I was looking at that Romans 1, verses 16 and 17. I'm not ashamed of the gospel. It's the power of God, and in it, the righteousness of God is revealed from faith to faith. And just talking about gospel not as a point in time or our decision for Christ, not as a point in time in history only, but something that is to go on day by day. So I'm just wondering, do any of you guys like doing jigsaw puzzles? Lizzie, you like them? Debbie likes them. Andrew likes them. My dad loved doing puzzles. Our grandson, Desmond, he loves doing puzzles. Okay, I'm going to brag for a second. They had to bring in puzzles from the older class to him because he had exhausted the ones. I do not like jigsaw puzzles. And I never got them. So my dad would be doing them, and then they'd do the really hard ones. They'd all be one color. I was like, what on earth? I always like to think of the end of something. What's the end? I don't always enjoy the journey to get there. What's the end? How do we get there? How to get there as fast as we can? And so a jigsaw puzzle, I was always like, okay, help me understand. It's a picture. And then someone cut it in pieces. And then you work really hard to get to a picture. Why didn't you just not cut it apart in the first place? So I struggle. But I was looking up, and I'm actually wrong. When I looked up, people who work on puzzles are actually, it increases creativity. It increases problem-solving skills. It actually, of all things, increases productivity. How does spending time putting together a picture that was already a picture productive, right? But they say it does. I've been reading Elizabeth Elliot, and she talked about as a kid, she made a decision to follow the Lord. And she gets saved at that point and is reacting to the gospel. But then every day, she says, I need to make that decision again. Not for your initial salvation, but to grow it. And so I used to wonder as a kid growing up in the church, because I have this view on the end. What's the end? Where are we going? Let's get there as fast as we can. So I was like, why, when Jesus rose from the dead, didn't history stop? And why did it take him so long to get there? Like, why didn't they just fix it with Adam and Eve right there in the garden? Okay, problem solved. Because he had a plan for a nation, Israel. He had a plan for a church. He had a plan for all of us. And even another thought, again, I have crazy thoughts as a little kid trying to figure all this stuff out. And it was like, well, when you give your life to the Lord, why don't you just immediately go to heaven to be with him? And this would be horrible. I know there's laws against it, but like, why don't you just shoot the people in the head and you're done? Like, you made your eternal decision. You're done. Like, you got to your end, right? But it's because it's a journey and he has something for us to do. And it's, again, it's that puzzle. And so every day we get to make a decision. Every opportunity, everything that comes our way, when someone insults me, it's an opportunity from God. How do I grow? How do I maybe grow in the fruit of the Spirit right now? Maybe he wants me to be more loving, more patient, something like that. And it's not just enough that my eternal destiny is there, but he wants to grow something and develop something and mature something in me. And so there's a point to the process and value in the process.